What the heck happened to guys chasing girls? No, like seriously. I love asking couples and friends that I come across on how they met their boyfriend, and literally every freaking person just says, oh, on a dating app. What the hell happened? What happened to guys like being so obsessed with a girl that they see? They have an instant connection, and then girls play hard to get, and then the guy does anything in his power to win that girl over. Where the hell are these stories? Like, my dad chased my mom for so long, and literally every single one of my friends, especially the European ones, all of their dads chased their moms. I literally never hear these stories anymore. It's so sad.
Don't shoot the messenger. Feminism told y'all be strong, independent, and alone. And y'all followed it to the grave. Y'all push all the good men away, call submission slavery, and think being difficult is cute. Now y'all 35 and tired, looking around like, oh, where the good men at? Sis, they moved on. Real men want peace, not problems in a lace front and a loud voice. Feminism sold y'all freedom, but they didn't mention the price. Loneliness.
This is unfortunate, but it's a result of choices made over time. Many embrace the idea that confidence without accountability was a path to success while pushing away the very men who wanted stable, supportive relationships. Now, some are realizing that professional success doesn't always replace companionship or emotional support. Men who spoke about wanting cooperation instead of constant competition were often labeled as toxic, even when they were simply looking for a genuine partner.
I see a lot of women saying that men aren't pursuing them. They're not pursuing them anymore. They don't know what they have to do to get a man to pursue them. But listen, let me tell you something. Dating has changed so much post Me Too era. Men, especially younger generations of men, Gen Z, millennial generations, they are not going to pursue women the same way that they pursued women in the past because they don't want to come off as creepy, weird, whatever. Dating has changed. If you are a woman and you want a man, you are going to have to put some effort in. They're not going to chase you like they used to. Or it's not. Especially if you're dating in the Gen Z millennial range. Like, you're going to have to put some work in if you want a man. They're not going to be calling you, showing up to your house with flowers. That's just creepy now.
It's interesting to watch people realize that accountability goes both ways. For years, many argue that even ordinary expressions of interest from men should be viewed with suspicion, and public call-outs often became the norm. Now, some are asking why fewer men are willing to make the first move. Many have decided that pursuing someone who sees them as a burden or problem isn't worth it. Instead, they are focusing on their own goals, peace of mind, and relationships built on mutual effort and respect. When both sides expect the other to do all the work, genuine connections become much harder to find.
You can't spend your 20s having a hoe phase and expect that there will be good men waiting for you when you're done. We live in this culture that celebrates women putting off commitment until later. Like, your 20s are meant to be sleeping around and partying. Average age of settling down, getting married, having kids, those are all becoming later and later. Women who get married young, have kids, they're told that they're naive, that they're missing out, that they're like wasting time. You need to live for yourself first. All those like catchphrases that we use. A lot of women listen and they go through these phases during their 20s, but then the narrative shifts when they hit their 30s and they look around and they're like, wait, where are all the good men? Like, you just can't find a good man. The dating scene is horrible. You hear women complaining about that all the time, and nobody wants to be honest about that phenomenon and what just happened. The dating pool isn't static. It doesn't just stay the same. People form relationships, people get married, people have families, and they get out of there. Men who are stable and intentional and want something serious, they're not just like in this untouched pool waiting for later. And of course, I know there's gonna be people that are gonna comment and be like, well, I met my soulmate after decades of partying and it's like he's an amazing guy that was just waiting, or I know so-and-so got married in their 50s. Okay, those are like exceptions to the rule. That doesn't usually happen. If you don't want to settle down, you don't want to get married, whatever, this message isn't for you. But the people who actually want like good, decent men and who want to build families with these men, they're not just sitting around waiting for later. You're not gonna get into your 30s and be like, oh, the great men, they're here waiting. No, they either A, already got married and settled down with someone, or B, they haven't found someone yet, but they still have very high standards and they're not going to settle for somebody who has been partying around for decades and then now wants them. They'll just go for someone younger. A lot of women don't want to hear that and they don't like that, but it's the truth, whether you like it or not.
She's making a fair point, but let's not pretend the situation came out of nowhere. Many people made deliberate choices, believing their youth, attractiveness, and independence would always give them the upper hand in relationships. Now that more men are choosing to step away from dating, focus on themselves, pursue younger partners, or simply enjoy a peaceful single life, it's suddenly being framed as a crisis. The reality is that every decision has consequences. If independence was a path you chose, then it's only fair to accept the outcomes that come with it instead of shifting the blame onto others.
Ladies, feminism lied to us and we just ate it up. They told us that rebellion was power, but all it gave us was confusion, burnout, and situationships. In the eyes of feminists, you don't need no man, right? Okay, but why are you secretly craving love, stability, and protection? So somehow obeying God became oppressive, while being overworked, over-sexualized, and overlooked became empowerment. Please make it make sense.
She's exposing what she believes were false promises. But pay attention to the framing. The blame is placed entirely on feminism, while the role that individuals played in their own choices is often overlooked. Acknowledging misleading messages may be a first step, but meaningful accountability also means recognizing how those ideas were sometimes used to justify dismissing or disrespecting good men. Otherwise, the conversation risks focusing only on the consequences instead of examining the decisions that contributed to them.
I'm sorry, but you can't say you want a good man and then speak about men like they're the problem. Because something shifted some time ago, and it's not in a good way. There was a time where feminism actually stood for equality, fairness, respect, opportunity, and it was needed. But now I'm seeing a lot of messaging that sounds more like resentment and trying to diminish men. They're talking about men are useless, use them, all men are the same, we don't need them. I've even had girls in my comments say that it's cute that I see men as human because apparently they aren't. Like, what? And yet, in the same breath, I hear women say they want to get married. With who? These animals? What is wrong with us? You cannot build something real with someone you don't respect. That's not empowerment. That's just creating a bigger divide. We need each other. And if we keep pushing this constant tension and unrealistic expectations on each other, all we're doing is making dating worse for everyone involved and creating more broken homes.
It's discouraging to hear claims that men aren't treated as fully human, because many men feel they've been navigating that kind of environment for years. Wanting basic respect is often dismissed or labeled as toxic, while conversations about men's worth can become polarized. Criticism of men has, at times, been celebrated as progress, but now that people are seeing rising loneliness, strained relationships, and more broken families, many are beginning to ask how things reached this point and what needs to change.
I remember the very specific moment that I lost the love of my life. Years ago, I was in this relationship with a man that I wanted to get married to. And at that time, I didn't know how to feel my own feelings. I had a lot of anxiety, and I would push all of my insecurities onto him in little ways, like, I need you to plan certain date nights. I want deep conversations. I want more attention. And so because he wasn't giving me exactly what I wanted, it would come out with this reactivity. And I remember very specifically, there was a night that I had made dinner and I wanted to have a nice conversation with him. And he was like, I need to go to the gym first before I come back for dinner. And when he came back from the gym, it was super late. It was like 8 p.m. and I was just sitting there bawling. You know, I wanted to have dinner with you. I wanted a deep conversation with you. We haven't had a lot of connection. And he just sat there and he was just like, I put all of my pent up emotions onto him, and I blamed him for my own lack of feeling complete within myself. I was trying to use him to feel complete. And within a matter of a month, we ended up breaking up, and it was devastating for me. And when I asked him, like, why don't you want to be with me anymore? He said, because I can never make you happy. I make you breakfast, that's not good enough. I hang out with you 6 days a week, that's not good enough. I bring you to work events, that's not good enough. I take you to movies, that's not good enough. Everything I do isn't good enough for you. And it really hit me hard, because here I was having this specific picture of what I needed my relationship to look like. And because he wasn't meeting that specific picture, I wasn't happy. But I was ignoring all the tiny things he was doing to try to make me happy. And so when I sit here and tell you ladies that the work starts with us, it's coming from a place of knowing, because I had to do the work too. We have to look at what are these crazy expectations that we have in these relationships, and how are we ignoring all the little things that men who do care about us are doing that aren't good enough. We first need to feel good enough within ourselves
meet our own emotional needs, give appreciation for men for the small things they do, and then from that place of feeling good enough, ask our men to connect with us more, asking our men to spend more time with us. But it has to come from a full cup. We cannot continue to place all of our shit onto men. And once you do that level of work, you will attract men who do want to give and provide more for you. I started attracting better men who did have those deep conversations, who did take me out, who did meet that picture of what I wanted. The moment I started to shift and feel good enough first within myself, because then I dated men who just amplified that feeling.
She describes losing a good man after wearing down the relationship, yet the takeaway seems to be improving herself only to attract someone better. He invested his time, consistency, care, and genuine effort, but still walk away feeling emotionally exhausted and as though nothing he did was ever enough. No one should be treated as an outlet for someone else's unresolved struggles. It shouldn't take the loss of a caring partner before recognizing that his feelings, effort, and humanity deserved respect from the beginning.
I lost a good guy listening to friends' advice of if he wanted to, he would. Keep it private. I regret it so much to this day. I really feel a lot of people would benefit from dropping this idea of just chatting with friends about your love life and instead looking at it like every single time you're talking to someone about your love life, you're silently agreeing to be advised by that person. Because it's impossible to expect your friends that love you dearly to not be reacting to what you're saying, to not give their thoughts, their opinions, or even if they don't say anything, it's like you're still getting a response from them in the moment that you're talking. And the reality is, if you have someone that's in your head, they are advising you. That's how you want to think about this. And I think a lot of people have this habit of seeking all these different perspectives as a way to alleviate their own discomfort with uncertainty or wanting to decode a situation and all of this stuff. But it ends up just creating things that you really don't want because there's too much interference. I feel like so many people would benefit from asking themselves, who do I trust to advise me on matters of the heart? And choosing wisely from there, because the answer should not be my 15 girlfriends from college. Like, that is obviously not going to be the right answer. It's like, it is such a vulnerable position to put yourself in. And so I think people really need to be mindful with who you're discussing things with and where their head is at, where their heart is at, what their experience is. And I really feel like it should be taken more seriously.
Don't let her rewrite the story as if she was simply a victim of other people's opinions. She was an adult capable of making her own decisions. No one forced her to hand over her relationship to the approval of a circle of friends. She chose to listen, and those choices came with consequences. Looking back with regret doesn't erase the role personal decisions played. Sometimes a solid relationship is lost not because of outside interference alone, but because too much value was placed on outside voices instead of the person standing right in front of you.
Look, I have a kid. I used to be like that until I had my kid. Now that I have my kid, like, I might be this, oh, I'm a boss bitch, da, da, da. But deep down in my heart, I would do absolutely anything to be at home and be like always with my child.
There you go.
But unfortunately,
and have a man protect you. Stop acting like, stop leaving out the man part. Right. Because for you to be home with your child, that means you got a man holding you down, protecting you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's right. And that shit's hard. Like, but unfortunately, since I'm by myself, I gotta hustle, you know? Yep. But I would do anything to have a man like.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless you for telling the fucking truth. God bless you for telling the truth.
It's difficult watching people reach a point where hard life experiences become the catalyst for rethinking long-held beliefs about relationships and human nature. For years, career success and total independence were often presented as a highest form of fulfillment, while traditional relationships and dependable men were sometimes dismissed as outdated or unnecessary. Now, many are openly discussing loneliness, burnout, and the reality that professional success doesn't automatically replace emotional connection, stability, or a supportive partner, the broader conversation reflects a major cultural shift. For years, many people were encouraged to believe that independence meant needing no one, that commitment could always wait, and that relationships were secondary to personal ambition. As time passes, some are reassessing those ideas after experiencing the challenges of modern dating, demanding careers, and isolation. Many are realizing that genuine partnership, trust, and mutual respect cannot simply be replaced by status, income, or social approval at the same time. Many men have also changed their outlook. Rather than abandoning the idea of family or long-term commitment, some have become more selective, weighing the emotional and financial risks before investing in a relationship. They want appreciation, reciprocity, and peace instead of feeling that their efforts are expected rather than valued. When people repeatedly feel dismissed or taken for granted, it's understandable that some choose to focus on themselves instead of pursuing relationships that don't feel balanced. The reality is that strong relationships require accountability from everyone involved. No culture thrives when either men or women are viewed as disposable or when resentment replaces cooperation. As more people reflect on the outcomes of the last decade, many are questioning whether the messages they embrace truly led to happiness. If these conversations resonate with you and you enjoy this kind of commentary, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the discussion below.